This is CHSR 97.9 FM here in Fredericton, New Brunswick, Canada. This is Python's Paradise, your film and music show, and this is your host, Greg Gilbert, aka the Python Hyena. And folks, I am a co-producer. I'm a co-producer of a film called 13 Fanboy, and I am looking forward to promoting that when I go to Horrorama this fall. And my director of this project happens to be on Skype with me today. Friday the 13th, Part 5, A New Beginning. The lovely, the beautiful, the gorgeous Debi Sue Voorhees. How do you do, Debbie?
I'm terrific, Greg. Thank you so much for having me back on.
Yes. Well, it took me a while because I had to make sure you weren't in the Hubbard's yard.
No.
Isn't that where you usually go to hide out?
Absolutely.
I am quite honored. I don't know whether my show last time you were on was where you first mentioned 13 Fanboy. I don't know. I could be wrong on that, but I know it was quite early because I got involved in this film early on.
Yeah, it was early on. I'm trying to think. If you can tell me the date when we recorded, I could probably tell you. But I do think it was the last one that we talked on that it was brought up, as opposed to the one before that.
Okay. Well, I was happy to become involved in this film. I had a lot of fun with it, and I don't know how much money I spent on this film, but I right now got an IMDb page now, which, considering the fact I'm not an actor, it's kind of impressive. But the film I think I'm most looking forward to is this one right here.
Well, thank you.
Yes.
I'm very excited about 13 Fanboy. We've got a teaser out right now, and we're going to be back shooting, it looks like January.
January.
So I'm excited about that, yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm very, very happy to been a part of this, and of course, 13 Fanboy, we got to get a little bit of a background, just give a little bit of a summary on what this film is about and how it came to be, where the idea for you came for this.
Actually, I was talking with my producing partner, Jill Paul Reisig, and we were discussing a different film that we were looking at making. And he just asked me, he was curious, he hadn't really been around, like horror conventions and that sort of thing before. And he wanted to know what it was like. And he said, what are the fans like? Are they, basically he's wondering if they were scary ever. Of course he didn't think all horror fans would be scary, but he's wondering if there were ever any kind of scary ones. And I said, well, at the horror conventions, I said, no, I've had nothing but really good experience. I can't speak for everybody, but, horror fans are, just, really great, kind of fun-loving people who just like to play dress up and, they're like big kids. And I mean that in the best possible way.
Yep.
That's the way we all should be, is nothing but a bunch of big kids. And he said, well, I said, now, I have had a couple situations that were a bit unsettling for me, but they weren't at conventions. One was somebody contacting me through Messenger on Facebook that basically thought, well, wouldn't it be cool if you died in real life like you did in Friday the 13th? And it was like, well, no, not actually. That wouldn't be very cool at all. And then I had somebody message me on my personal phone, and that was a little more disturbing to me because it was my personal phone. And they basically made it clear they knew of me through Friday the 13th and basically said they were watching me and meant me harm. And So I said, yeah, that was a bit unnerving. But, no, for the most part, it's been a good relationship. And so he said, this is a movie. And it absolutely made the hair on the back of my neck stand up. And I was like, oh, no, it doesn't. That is way too scary of an idea. And I don't think that's really where I want to go. I said, it's the idea of an obsessed, crazed fan out there is, that's real life. We're not talking about a Friday the 13th movie with, a pretend monster in a mask. We're talking about something, realistic and that can actually happen. And so it took me several sleepless nights and a lot of pacing and thinking about it. And I was like, it scares me this much. This could be a really great scary movie. And I just decided, yep, we got to make this.
Okay. Well, this is your first feature film, isn't it? To direct? No?
No, I did Billy Shakespeare, Catching Up, and then of course I have done a lot of music videos and shorts and stuff.
Oh, I thought those other two were shorts.
No.
Okay. We didn't get those here, so I wasn't familiar with that.
Yeah, no, they're just small indies.
Okay. Well, this one here apparently is supposed to get a decent release, is it not?
Yes. We'll start with the theatrical release and then go to, of course, to DVD, Blu-ray, to any kind of streaming and that sort of thing.
Okay. Perfect. Well, I am proud to say I'm a co-producer on this, and this has been pretty fast for me because I didn't start podcasting till 2015. I didn't do my first convention until 17, and now I'm co-producing films. I'm associate producer just recently on Adam Marcus's documentary, Hearts of Darkness, Making of the Final Friday. So this is all very new for me. So I'm very happy to be part of this and be able to see the updates and what's going on.
We really appreciate your support. It's been really important for us to have the fan support on this, and we've got such a great outpour of help through Indiegogo and stuff, and it's very much so appreciated.
Yes. Well, you got a host of alumni from the franchise in this. Who was the first one that you approached to be in this?
The first one I approached was Adrienne King.
Okay. she initially turned you down.
Well, no, actually she initially agreed. And then after reading the script and everything, she got really nervous and scared. She said, "You just have no idea how close to reality you got." And then she freaked out. And she stepped back from the project. And then when she talked to fans and explained to them, because they kept asking, are you going to be in it? Are you going to be in it? And so she finally explained to them that what had happened, and they were all very supportive, but still really wished that she would be in it. And then she contacted me and asked if there was something else maybe that she could do that would work. And so she, now we'll just, we'll see.
Okay. Then after that, the ball got rolling. You had a whole slew of people come into this. I gotta say, I joined the project whenever I discovered Tracy Savage was in this.
Yeah, she was the second person I contacted, and she, and then let's see, then Judy Aronson, and I really Tracy. We we finished shooting her in July,
Mm-hmm.
and that went super well. She's such a talent and very kind, nice woman. Really enjoyed my time with her.
Yeah. Well, Mike Guttridge of the Bone Garden, who directed her in the Bone Garden, put me in touch with her. I had her on my show on Boxing Day 2017. So, considering the fact our Christmas got snowstormed, Boxing Day turned out to make up for it, you know?
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I was so happy to get her on here, and I'm hoping to get her on again before the end of the year and talk about 13 Fanboy, and that was another one of the perks I took. I took too. I sent you a bunch of my pictures because you said one of the perks you could have your picture in a scene, and I said I want Tracy Savage.
And we did actually already use your photograph. It's in there.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah.
Do I dare ask what photo?
It was at one of your headshots.
Oh, the one that my friend Lisa Langlois of Class of 1984 took in Toronto.
I don't know. I just know it was a headshot.
Oh.
But I'm sure you're probably right.
Yeah. Yeah, well, somebody joked with me, he says, what if Tracy dies in the movie and the last thing she sees is your face? I'm like,
You'll have to wait and see.
I want her to live.
You'll have to wait and see.
Have to wait and see. I love Tracy Savage, so
Yeah, I do too. She's a really remarkable woman.
you know, I think there should be a movie done about her unborn kid in part 3 that doesn't get credited for being part of the death toll.
Oh, there you go. That's right.
I can just yeah. Yeah. And you mentioned Judy Aronson. You know, it's strange with Judy Aronson because I've had Ted White on my show twice, and Ted's my favorite Jason out of the bunch, and he was on 3 years ago, and he came on again this year for the 35th anniversary of the final chapter, and he sent me a mask in the mail, which I would have paid for, but he said he loved doing my show, and he just sent me a replica of the mask, but initially 3 years ago, and he wouldn't have done this if he didn't trust me, but he gave me the numbers for Kane Hodder and for Judy Aronson, and for years I was reluctant to call either one because I didn't want to, as in 13 Fanboy language, creep them out.
Right, yeah, no, not a wise thing to do. I would definitely not do that and lose those numbers.
Well, here's the thing. I did this year eventually try. I never got hold of either one, and I'll tell you why I took the stab at it. Because late January this year, we lost Dick Miller. And on the end of August last year, I had Dick Miller on my show. And Dick Miller I didn't have slated to reach out to. And I thought to myself, just out of a chance, would he do my show? Would he do it? And I got him. And it's one of the last interviews he did. And I was like, man, if I hadn't reached out, I would have been kicking myself this year. And that's why I took the chance to reach out this year. But I didn't hear back from either one, and that was pretty much it.
Right.
Yeah. So I don't know. I messaged Judy on Facebook, but I don't have her on my friends list, so I don't know. But I've been very fortunate. I had Ted White on twice, and Ted was great, and he talked Judy up very well. But no, Ted trusted me, and I said, are you sure? But he didn't give them out over the air, though, so yeah. Well, I sent Judy the original interview with Ted, so she'd have a verification that he and I was talking, but whatever the case. Now, you have some other people that you can come in later. You got Lar Park Lincoln, which we're all... Lar's a trip.
We shot her in July as well. She was wonderful to She had a very demanding role and did a terrific job of it.
I love those videos. I'd love to have a picture. You ever see that picture she had on Facebook where at Christmas time where she's got the Christmas tree on top of her where her kids are laughing at her?
I don't think I've seen that one, no.
Oh, yeah, I'd love to show up at a convention and get her sign that. I guess she taken it out of the attic, and there's this picture of her with the Christmas tree on top of her, and the kids are laughing at her.
Oh, funny. Yeah, I bet she'd get a kick out of that.
Yeah. But you managed to get... Actually, I think the only Friday the 13th person that's not a Friday the 13th is Dee Wallace. Dee Wallace has been a guest on my show, and I met her last year at Horrorama, and she remembered me. She's not part of the Friday the 13th franchise, but what made you reach out to get her in this?
She's somebody I've wanted to work with for a very long time. She's a horror icon. Mm-hmm. She's from Halloween, so she definitely fits right into our narrative.
Are you going to have your dogs play Cujo on her?
No, I'm afraid my dogs, well, actually Purdy might make a good one, but the other ones are far too small. They'd be more, maybe the critters, tiny little things.
I've seen pictures of your dogs. They're vicious looking.
Oh, extraordinarily, yes. Quite frightening.
Yeah.
Nobody mess with me or my dogs will chew your baby toe off.
I also noticed you have Vincent DeSante and Andrew Lady in this film, and I loved.
July, and they did a terrific job. They're incredibly competent and good people, and really they know their stuff. They're very talented.
Well,
Andrew's a wonderful actor, and Vincent is too. He's, terrific stuntman, yeah, and just both of them are just very down to earth and very kind.
Yeah, well, Never Hike Alone turned out so well. It did. Yeah, it didn't.
Terrific job.
Yeah, it didn't have a body count, but it looked like a film that was taken very seriously, and the fact that you have them involved in 13 Fanboy says a lot about how you saw this.
Yeah, no, they're very talented, and after I contacted them and chatted with them both, I just felt like they're personality-wise, and they clearly both have lots of talent. That they were just a super good match for us.
Okay, well. You have a lot of other people I got to mention, Corey Feldman.
We shot him in July as well, and he was terrific to work with. He basically took kind of like our basic dialogue and then improv'd everything, and I had no objections to it because he was so damn good at it. It was just really, he did a terrific job. Really funny and interesting.
Okay. Well, I've interviewed Tom Matthews a couple of times. Do you want to talk about him and what's up with him as far as this film goes?
As far as this film goes? Yeah, initially he was going to be a part of the film, but unfortunately we had to shoot his portion while he was having to be out of the country. So hopefully, we'll get him on part 2 or something.
I'd love that. I think Tom Matthews is terrific, and I love his version of Tommy Jarvis. And yeah. No, I really like him in it. A very nice guy. By the way, speaking of which, you know what? I just got in the mail.
What's that?
I got my 13 Fanboy t-shirt, my 13 Fanboy tote bag.
Nice.
Why isn't your picture on it, Debbie?
I think the world's good. They don't need my picture on that.
Yes, we do.
Okay, well, we may work on that.
No, I got it in the mail. I am going to wear that at Horrorama when I go November, December.
That's terrific.
Yeah.
We've been getting a lot of people messaging us and saying, we're seeing so many T-shirts and stuff at the horror convention, so I'm really glad to see that.
Well, I'm going to wear that. I won't have a booth or anything, I assisted Lisa Langlois 2 years ago at the Horrorama, but the last couple of years I've just gone there and done my thing. But I am going to wear it, and I'm going to promote it, and hopefully, Chris Alexander will reach out and have some of you folks down there for that maybe next year.
Right.
Yeah. But there are some other great people in this film. Have you shot the footage yet with Ron Sloan and Carol Locatel?
No, not yet.
Are they going to be comedic in their scenes?
I'm not 100% certain. It depends on how much we are allowed to mention Friday the 13th, and we're trying a few different things, but I don't know how much we're going to be able to. I don't know the answer to that yet.
You could still be able to pull something off without mentioning it, though.
Well, no, we can say Friday the 13th. We've got approval for that, but it just depends. We'll just have to see.
Yeah, that brings, of course, the lawsuit up between, of course, Sean S. Cunningham and Victor Miller. I've had Victor Miller on the show. What a nice guy.
Oh, yeah, I've talked to him, too. He's always been very nice and kind to me. Just through social media, but yeah, no, he's always been very friendly.
Yeah. So I think this, in fact, I love the fact that Never Hike Alone was so well accepted, because I look at Vincent DeSante and it's like, he just took and hauled off and kicked that lawsuit right in the balls.
Right.
Yeah. And just went and did his own thing. And, the lawsuit, it's bad that it's dragging on because it's really ticking off fans is what it's doing.
Right.
Yeah. But anyway, I'm trying to think who else you got involved in this film. Haley, I'm messing up her name here. Haley Greenbauer. I know she's a newbie.
Well, no, she's been acting since she was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she's her name's Haley Greenbauer, very talented young woman, and she and Dee Wallace are our two leads in the film.
Okay. So, how did you approach Dee Wallace to get her in this?
Called her agent.
Just called her agent? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And have you met her before this?
I haven't, but interestingly enough, it turned out, I didn't realize it at the time, but Joel had, that's my producer partner, had put up feelers and asked about having Dee, and she read the script and everything and loved it and said she was, on board, and it turned out that Michael Eisenstein, Eisenstadt, was her agent, who is also a good friend of mine when I was in LA, but I didn't know that was the agent, so I didn't use that connection. But yeah, it was really interesting. I'm looking forward to catching up with him when I get out to LA.
Talk about your relationship with Joel Paul Rising, one of the writers of the film. Yeah. Razik. Okay, sorry.
He's, I am just very grateful to have met him. I actually brought him out to New Mexico and to get him to give a producing class that he does called Be Your Own Hollywood, and basically how to get your films made and actually get a distributor and actually make money at them instead of like most of us indie filmmakers, we make films in obscurity, but he was teaching you how to actually do it without having to be a part of the studio model. And that's where the relationship started, and I'm very grateful to him. He's been a tremendous asset to this, and he and I actually wrote the script together.
Yeah, and you got three Jasons in this, if you count Vincent DeSante. You got Kane Hodder, you got C.J. Graham.
Right.
And, of course, Ari Lehman, of course, is involved with some music in this as well.
Yes. We're going to use one of his pieces. I believe the full title is called Victim.
I love that song.
Look it up. Yeah, it's a great one. I love it, too. I'm very excited about having that one in there. And we also got Tommy McLaughlin. We also have an agreement with him to use one of his songs.
Mm-hmm. Misfits.
We don't have everything in writing yet, but I don't think that'll change.
Did was it true you got somebody from Misfits to do music as well, right?
We had initially talked about it, and actually he was supposed to be doing a role in the film.
Okay.
But once again, we ran into a similar situation with Tom, and that happens, especially when you have so many big names in a film. It's very difficult to get everybody there at a given time. And he would have had to have been in here to be able to shoot, and he just wasn't able to. He was on tour when we had to shoot, so.
Okay. Well, I don't know whether you shot with C.J. Graham yet, but I do know you shot with Kane Hodder.
We shot Kane Hodder and Jennifer Banco. They were, their scenes were together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it looks pretty intense. I saw the teaser trailer.
Yeah, it's very intense.
Yeah.
They really both did a remarkable job. It was a real honor working with them. Honestly, I have to say I was a little bit worried because, I mean, I haven't acted in a long time, and so I would be nervous, getting in front of the camera, I'm going to be, too rusty, not do a good job, and I was worried, some of them, I don't know how long it's been since some have acted and stuff, but honestly, there were no worries. They all did a really terrific job.
Okay. And C.J. Graham, you haven't shot his stuff yet, huh?
Not yet.
Not yet, okay. And, of course, Jason Bradford, we must mention him because he's heavily promoting this and involved in this.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
He's been a long time Friday the 13th fan, and he is a big supporter on Indiegogo for us, and then he also then went on and started doing, he's my director of public relations as well, and then he came out while we were filming and worked as a production assistant for us as well.
Okay. Well, and of course I got to mention Deborah Sullivan. Huh?
Oh yes, and at Deborah Sullivan, she came out. Oh, I was so delighted. She and two of her acting friends. It's actually from Adam Marcus and Deborah.
Skeleton Crew, yeah.
Yeah, they have their acting company, and three of their members came out. And Deborah Sullivan actually, she took the Tom Matthews role that we were going to be doing with him, and she did an incredible job. Boy, is she natural in front of the camera. She'll be back in January too.
I loved Secret Santa, and I have both of them on back in May. Yep. So I just contributed to their project, So.
Oh, good. Yeah, that's going to be a really good project. I'm really excited about The Heart of Darkness. I think that it's going to be really interesting and fun to see it.
Yeah. Well, what was the hardest part so far in shooting 13 Fanboy?
Oh, man. Yeah, I mean, anytime you're shooting a film, you always run into some massive issues. And we definitely had our share of it, but what I tell people is there's 1,000 reasons that will keep you from making your film. The only thing that makes it happen anyway is that those not making the film. It's not an option. You're absolutely making it no matter what, and you overcome the obstacles and you don't back down no matter what. And so, yeah, it's definitely, filmmaking is extremely difficult. It's not for the faint of heart, or anybody who's going to give up after the first 1,000 tries. They might as well just not even bother to try.
You didn't bring hedge clippers along with you on set, did you?
No, but I'm kind of thinking about it for this next go around. It might really be helpful. We'll see. We did bring machetes, so that was good.
Okay. So,
Really terrific crew, though.
yeah. And you got somebody from Tom Savini's makeup class to do the...
She was actually his protege. Her name's Nora Hewitt. She's a special effects artist.
Mm-hmm.
And she was also the winner of season 9 on Face Off, which for those who may not know the show, it's basically pits the best of the special effects people in Hollywood around the world and pits them against each other in a competition, and she won. It is actually, that's who Tom Savini recommended to us to go with.
Oh, wow. Well, that's terrific.
He said that she was, she's the top student, and that's his protege. So, and she was a blast to work with. So talented. I just really adore her.
Wow. So, you expect this to get released in 2020?
That's our goal, yes. We're not far enough along to be able to make that determination at this point, but it's definitely what we're hoping for.
Okay. So you're planning to do a part 2?
We'd like to, yeah. If this one does well and is successful, absolutely.
Is it going to be called 14 Fanboy?
No.
I know that it's funny how things come together here, because what an interesting little community coming on with 13 Fanboy, because I became good friends with a guy I've never met, but I talk to him regular, Troy Oikel.
Oh, Troy Elke.
Elke.
The O silent.
Boy, he's never corrected me on that.
That's nice of him.
Well, well. But I talk to him regularly, and I guess the first time I've contacted him, I had him on the show back in June and talking about his theories on the franchise. And I love his theories, and he really put some thought into them. But he's also involved in 13 Fanboy as well. And we had he's quite excited about it, and so am I. But I think it's interesting, some of the people that come together, and how it's a very non-threatening environment, and yeah, like the live chats and stuff.
Right. He's a really nice guy. He's a moderator in my group in Share Horror, and he's also part of my promotional team, getting information out to people. So yeah, he's a really nice guy. He's also pretty damn funny too.
Yeah. Yeah, my brother and I have a lot of fun watching his videos.
Yeah, he's pretty funny. I like him a lot.
Yeah. No, he said he would have loved to have cameoed in 13 Fanboy, but he said he didn't make the cut. And as for me, being in Canada, I don't know. The States looks pretty scary to me right now, which is probably, yeah, I don't have a passport, but I probably will not be at the premiere. But it's pretty, I don't know. I don't know what it's like. You're in New Mexico, so but it's like every other day there's like a shooting there, and it's just annoying.
Yeah, you have to remember how big the country is and how many people are here. The chances of being in a shooting are pretty minimal. I'm not saying that it's not a serious issue, because it definitely is, but it's not like anybody really has, I don't know.
Yeah.
You have just to, say you have 1 million people and in a year 2 people are killed. Yes, it's an absolute tragedy that happened, but that's just a reality. But your chances of, if you know that out of 1 million people, 2 people are going to be killed that year, it's not a huge chance it will necessarily be you, or that you'll be anywhere close to where the shooting is.
Well, they made a big fuss over the Joker movie last week, and I saw it, and the theater was quiet, like, I think everywhere it was quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you...
Well, I mean, the Joker, it's a really good film.
Mm-hmm.
It's an interesting film.
I think so.
But it's definitely much more like, Martin Scorsese's Taxi Driver as opposed to a DC comic book style movie.
That's what I liked about it.
Yeah.
So what style are you going with 13 Fanboy? Are you sticking with the... Huh?
Yeah, no, this is very much, it's a different style. I mean, there'll be certain aspects. What we're looking at here is it's a combination of 3 genres. It's a mystery because you're not going to know who the killer is till the very end. It's a thriller. I want that kind of that intense feeling that comes with, like, say, Cape Fear is one of the films that I'm looking to for inspiration, and films like Hush is another one. And then there's also the horror element, with the kills, and hence that's where we bring in Nora.
Which Cape Fear?
They're both beautifully done, but for the style I'm looking at would be the modern one.
Okay.
Or at least more modern.
Okay. So, how much more do you have to do on this film?
We have a lot to do.
Mm-hmm.
We've got to finish filming, and then editing is also, editing takes a lot longer than the actual filming of a film, so.
Okay. Well, you get a lot of great people in this film, and I'm very, very pleased to be part of it, and I hope the film is successful, and I hope, yeah. Well, like I said, I'm honored to be a part of this. It was, I love being part of the chats. I love contributing that way, and I can't believe, like, I'm going to have my name on this film as a co-producer, and my picture's going to be in it. I'm thrilled, and...
Well, we certainly are glad that you're a part of it. We really appreciate everything you've done.
Well, it's not just that, too. It's like you originally on Indiegogo were looking for a specific amount, and you went way past that. Like, this is really great. I'm excited.
Right. Yeah, no, we are very excited that the fans really stepped up and helped us out. They're just a huge portion of how this film is getting made, and of course not just made, but then it's got to, be a success once it leaves, and it's really is the fans that are going to carry it, over the finish line, so to speak, and, we obviously have to have investor money as well, and, we've got that. And so, yeah, no, we're really very, very pleased with everything.
Well, you've had people from most of the films. With the exception of Adrian King, I don't think you had anybody from Part 2. Did you guys ever approach Amy Steele?
We did talk to her. She's really, she's actually a family, I think it's I'm not sure if it's psychologist or psychiatrist. I'm pretty sure it's psychologist.
Mm-hmm.
And so she really, to take off the amount of time that it would take to do this film was just not in the cards for her.
Well,
she enjoys what she does, and acting is really part of her past, not where her life is now.
Oh, gee, the fans are groaning at the sound of that. She's like one of the big favorite heroines.
Yeah, she's definitely, when there are competitions for favorite, she definitely is always marked down as the favorite. I've never seen her lose a competition yet. Maybe she has, but I haven't seen it.
Yeah. Well, I look forward to this movie, and just between you and me, I know that your two dogs are the killers. I know.
Well, if you would just edit that out. Doesn't know.
I can tell by those dogs.
They're pretty evil. One's all of 8 pounds, and the other one's all of 7 pounds, and yeah, but they jump high. Particularly Rosebud, she jumps very high, and so she's able to sink those teeth right into the jugular vein. She really gets messy.
Rosebud, is that a Citizen Kane reference?
It is for me. However, my Colin, who I call him my adopted grandbaby, he named her, and he said that indeed it is not Citizen Kane for him, but it is that TV show with the golden retrievers all in it, or maybe they're labs. I think they're golden retrievers. There's like Buddy and one of the dogs in it. His name was Rosebud.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember the name of the films. I can see them. I know it as soon
What,
as
Air Bud?
Air Bud.
I hated those.
Oh, he loved them.
Yeah, I was not a fan of those films. I've seen too many of those films, Yeah, I'm more of a comedy horror fan, So it's funny because after 13 Fanboy, James Balsamo has recruited me so far. I've cameoed in 7 of his movies, and I never even left Fredericton to do it. I just shot it on my phone.
Oh yeah.
Apparently, the next film, my scenes are spliced into a television being watched by Eric Roberts, and I'm.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and I didn't even have to leave town,
Okay, well, good.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I am looking forward to this film, and I'm looking forward to I'm kind of have this Roger Ebert Beyond the Valley of the Dolls feel about this, I obviously can't review the film because it would be a conflict of interest, but boy, I'm excited for it. And I don't know if you've seen it or not. Last time I was in Toronto when I was with Lisa Langlois, we did a Doubtfire challenge, and I threw it out to the 13 Fanboy folks.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Yeah, and Adam Marcus said that he and his wife and their class are going to do it too, because I contributed to that. I'm associate producer on that. I just had Helen Odie from My Bloody Valentine do that, and I donated to one of her charities in return. So, yeah. And I'm still, of course, in touch with Scotty McCoy. I know that you've had connections with him as well. So after this film, are you going to go right on to a possible sequel? What's the plan for you?
I'm always working at making films, so yeah, if this one does well, we will. And but I also have a paranormal story I want to tell, and a different horror film I want to do. So yeah, we'll see from here. Right now I'm concentrating and pushing forward on this film.
Nancy McLaughlin said she was interested in 13 Fanboy.
Oh, cool.
Yep, I was talking to her yesterday, actually. But I don't know. I think you probably got all the people you need right now, huh?
For the moment, we do.
For the moment. Can you hint on how big a body count's going to be in this?
No, I can't.
But you're going to be in it, right?
I don't know the answer right now. There's a couple of things that I can't really discuss that we'll have to see.
Fans are going to protest if you're not in it.
Well, I'll make sure that I either have my voice or a cameo or both or something in there.
Well, if I know I've made this offer before, but if you need a voice, I'm open to providing one.
All right.
Yes, I could be a radio voice.
There you go.
It's open.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I'm looking forward to promoting your film in Toronto when I go. And hopefully there'll be other things I can do to help this. I have not seen the new perks yet. You said that there's going to be parts of the film you guys are going to be selling?
Yeah, if you go on Indiegogo, I'm going to be adding a few more too. But yeah, there's some new ones on there. Everything that was on there before, it's all gone, and there's new stuff on there.
Oh, so Tracy's bikini's gone, huh?
No, I haven't put that one up yet.
I'm sitting there thinking, nah, I better not purchase that. That just makes so creepy if somebody comes in and cleans my house. I'm like, yeah, I got my picture in a scene with her. I'll leave it at that.
There you go.
Yeah, but the thought was definitely there, and she'd probably laugh about it, but
Right.
yeah. Well, Debbie, it was so nice to have you come on here and talk to me today, and it took a while to... What's that?
I said thank you, Greg.
Yeah, I'm excited to be part of it, and wow, like this is just overwhelming to me, and it's nice to be part of this little community where people get along. You got a very nice Facebook group, everybody's very cordial, everybody's very friendly.
Yeah, I'm really happy. I mean, and that's how it is with most of the, horror fans. They're really just down to earth, really nice people.
Yeah. And I've interviewed Melanie Kinnaman again recently, and she sends high hopes on your films as well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Anyway, I probably should close off here soon because I'm pretty sure your dogs are getting very impatient with you.
Oh, yes. They're in charge of the household, and they prefer if I'm spending most of my time with attention on them.
How many dogs do you have?
I have 5.
You have 5 dogs? I have a hard time taking care of one cat.
Well, I like dogs.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Are they all the same breed?
No, they're all different. Most of them are mutts that found me, but then most of my dogs through my life have been mutts that have found me along the way. But I have a few. My 2 little ones, those I found them. But yeah, they're pretty extraordinary. I love my pups.
What other animals do you have? Didn't you say you on our first interview you had a horse?
I did. He passed away a couple years ago, though.
Okay.
And I had some chickens for a while, and unfortunately, a couple of my dogs took care of them, as well as the rabbits.
Oh, they took care of the rabbits too?
Yeah.
Oh, so they weren't the kind of rabbits that were in Monty Python, the Holy Grail, I take it.
No, they weren't.
Oh well. Well,
Yeah.
Debbie, I'm so happy to have you come on here today and talk to me on Skype, and I guess I know the first time we talked it was on your regular line. You can't do that with you, can you?
No. It works better for me on Skype.
Yeah, I've had a few guests that it works better that way as well. But anyway, I thought before you go, love to have you do a plug for my show.
Okay. Hey guys, this is Deborah Voorhees, director of 13 Fanboy. Let me try again, sorry.
For it.
Hey guys, this is Deborah Voorhees, director of 13 Fanboy, and you are listening to Great Gilbert on Python Paradise out of Brunswick, Canada.
Absolutely. You ready for Halloween?
I am.
What do you generally do for Halloween at your place? You dress your dogs up?
No, I have not dressed my dogs up yet, but never know. It could happen. Sometimes I go to a friend who has a semi-annual Halloween party. Sometimes I do that. Sometimes, it depends. Sometimes we just go out. Sometimes we snuggle up with a scary movie on popcorn. It just depends.
I thought you had a hard time watching scary movies.
Yeah, no, I do. Definitely don't want to watch a scary movie by myself. That's for darn sure.
Why not?
But, because I don't want to be scared when I'm by myself.
You will watch Attack of the Killer Tomatoes by yourself?
I haven't seen that one, I have to say, but it sounds like something I could probably handle.
You think so? It might be very scary.
It could be. Because I'm not taking it real seriously at the moment. That's to my own peril.
Well, hopefully you'll get to do the conventions when this is ready to be launched. So, looking forward.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know what? I appreciate having you on here. This is your 4th time. And next year when things start to wrap up, and I don't know whether you'll have it out by then, but next year I'd love to have you back.
Sounds great.
Yeah, we'll promote 13 Fanboy with the beautiful Debi Sue Voorhees as the director, but we're going to get her in front of the camera, aren't we, Debbie?
We'll work on it.
God bless you, and thank you so much for honoring me with your time today.
Thanks, Greg. I appreciate your time, too. Take care.
And also, thank you for taking me in as a co-producer. I really appreciate the acceptance.
Oh, you bet.
Absolutely. You take care, and you have a wonderful day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.